Hey guys, welcome back to the King and Quinn Adventures YouTube channel. This is Adam, and this is part 2 of the Charm of Nassau tour. Lyndon, our bus driver that you met in the last video, is talking us through arriving to Fort Fincastle, explaining how it was carved out of the limestone that I'm showing here, and also saying that the Queen's Staircase is pretty much right ahead of us. We do explore the Queen's Staircase towards the end of the video. We start with the fort. A really cool tour. Really think that you will enjoy it. I know that Lindsay and I did. And if there's something else you want to see us do or explore in Nassau the next time we're there, be sure to leave it in the comments. And if you don't care, throw a like on the video and subscribe. It really helps us out.
Doing all of this talking, so the others can join our group, right? But while we're outside, this is a head start for you. Take a good glance at the fort. Look at the shape of it. And the distinctive look. Very peculiar. And we're going to talk more to it on the inside. Alright? So that's all. Okay, let's go on the inside. What the steps coming up? Right.
Yeah.
Is anybody enjoying the free air conditioning we're giving out today?
Yeah, really nice.
Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Roston. This is the famous Fort Fincastle. This is one of the 5 forts built here by the British. All of these forts were built mainly in anticipation, mainly in preparation, or even fail of an invasion that didn't happen. It did not happen. No one ever repay mail. The fort was never attacked, so a little action. But I'll tell you what's important about this. In fact, I started with a question. What was your impression of this? What did it look like when you first saw it? Maybe in the bus, driving along this way. What did you thought of when you saw the fort?
Shit.
Jesus. Give me a high five. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Debbie.
Debbie, that's exactly what this is. It's a boat or a ship, but not just a ship or a boat. This is a stranded boat. That's the most important one I'm going to be using today. This is wrecked. It's stuck. But possibly loaded with gold or money or rum or guns or food. And this is an invitation. The closer anyone got to this, predominantly the French, the Spanish, and pirates, the water got lower as they approached, and they would run out of ground. They would wreck, they would crash in an attempt of reaching to this boat. Obviously, it was in the boat, but getting here. That's what this is. Shipwrecking happened to be the most lucrative industry anywhere in the Atlantic. So that's all of this is. This is an invitation, a way to lure in, more like temptation. People didn't get closer to this, and the closer they got, they wouldn't know it. But the water got lower, and we have shoals, corals, reefs just on the coastline, off the outskirts. And because they are invincible, predominantly because they are submerged under the surface, if you don't know where they are, especially before GPS, maybe 40 years ago, inevitably you're going to wreck. That's what all of this is. What it was a big, big rock, solid piece of limestone on the highest point in Nassau, and slaves over a decade with saws, hammers, axes, and wedges. 600 of them, by the way, handcraft this big limestone rock into a ship. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to have a chance to go into these 2 rooms. Once we're done, we're going to the top. We're going to take some questions. I'm going to show you what the city looks like. And then we're going to make our way to another major attraction, which is called the Queen's Staircase. All right? So follow me. Watch the steps coming in. After you, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Okay, so as you make your way in this room, you want to watch the steps. And you also want to know that this is jail. This is prison. This is where 25 prisoners would be, and among them would be insubordinate soldiers, pirates, slaves, peasants, anyone and everyone. And then there is another element in this room that you can't see, but you should definitely feel it, and that's humidity. Lots of it in the room. In fact, everyone take a look at the back wall. All of that green, brown material, it's allergy. It's a reaction to the lack of ventilation getting in this room. So, without further ado, I want to get out of here. But before I do, take a look at this, because this is where we are. Guys, come close. I want you to have a look here. Can anyone see a boat looking at this image here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can anyone not see a boat? Okay, beautiful. So as I said, it's a boat, but not just a ship. It's stranded, it's wrecked, it's stuck, and a way to invite to lure people to come closer, and the closer they got, they would wreck. What I also said was this. This is what the fort was. A big, big solid spoon Each one of these markings is a chisel mark. That's because a decade of carving, chisels, hammers, axes, wedges, and saws, right? Now, is anyone beginning to feel the humidity? Okay, me too. I live here. I don't like it. Let's go this way. So, ladies and gentlemen, from is an important moment. What you call a furnace or an oven. And what you do in an oven is you heat up cannonballs. The reason cannonballs were heated was so that once you made contact with those ships, wooden ships, you would have maximum effect or damage, right? Goodness gracious! Great balls of fire! Yes, sir. All of that on the wall of exclamation, it's charcoal. This is where the fire from our vents to them. That's what allows smoke, not air, to be emerged from the ship. So it's on the highest point. It is shaped like a boat. It is smoking like a boat. Well, take a look at this. All the smoke generated from this room goes in. It goes up, comes up like a ship. But guess what this ship wasn't doing or never did? So run, sir. I already feel you get it. What did you all think this boat wasn't doing? Moving. And you know what this did, Mom? Raising the wheels. Why is the boat not moving? And then our last room is our most important room. It's storage. So cannonballs, projectiles, food, muskets, all the close ordinances in this general area. And then all the way to the very back, that's another storage room. It's a power magazine. So what a power magazine is, ladies and gentlemen, it is an isolated or designated area, specifically designed for anything that there's none of this allergy, right, or mold, or some people call it lichen, because there is ingenuity right here at the back of this room. There is the fundamentals of air conditioning. So there's an intake of air coming in, hot air leaving the room. We're going to have a look. Once we're done, we're going to get a nice cool off from the top. But follow me. We're going to have a quick look right here. And by the way, but anyone, which is usually everyone, that's taller than I am, please watch your hands. Wait, language coming in a bit. Okay. Did everyone tell that it was cooler as you made your way in this room? Okay, guys, come as close to me as you possibly can. So what you want to do is you want to stretch your hands open to me like this. Guys, you're too far. You want to come close. Raise it up a bit, just a bit. Do you feel a difference in temperature? Is it warmer? Is it cooler? What is it? Okay. Take a good glance in this room. None of that allergy, no mold, the walls are completely dry, no matter which angle you look at. In addition, there is some symmetrical holes on the floor. And these are not just on the ground, by the way. These are all over this room. These are shells. So, gunpowder, rum, propellant, anything that's flammable has to be in this room. Anything that has the risk of boom, maybe getting there from moisture or humidity, it has to be here. So these are for elevation. These are slots, right? So pieces of wood, timber from one end to the other. Now there is one more thing that is super important I have to mention. What's your name? Tell me your name at the back.
Debbie.
Okay, yes, Debbie, yes. I got it at the monument. Debbie, there's a vent to your left. Turn around. I want you to walk to that vent, Debbie. Without thinking about it, stick one of your arms in, as far as you can get it to go. All the way, Debbie. All the way.
Okay, got it.
Which way does it go? Does it go to the left or to the right? Which way?
Both.
Is it cooler in there?
A little bit, yeah.
Is anyone shaking or touching your hands?
No.
Did anyone remember how humid the first room was in the prison? No. No one remembers the humidity in that prison?
Yeah, too. A lot of algae in the
Trust me. Maybe we need to kick them back in there, right? But all of that humidity is collected by that vent. Sent right here. It is then mixed or combined with cooler air coming in from the outside. And then that circulated air is then forced out of the room. So essentially what this is, it's an intake coming in of humidity. There's a circulation, and then hot air is forced out of the room. And like I say, it's engineering. It's literally the concept of air conditioning. Alright? So without further ado, guy with the camera, we're gonna make an exit. We're gonna go on the staircase. We're gonna enjoy some of the view, the 3 or 4 for the later, we're back to the Can anyone see the boat? Very where's the ship? This is a smart group. Normally when I ask that question, be all over the place. Yes, I see it. It's right over here. Now envision this. Imagine this. None of this infrastructure existed. There is no water towers, no Atlantis, no bridges. These trees weren't elevated as such. And then, sir, right here. Come closer to me. Take 2 steps back right here. Look between those trees, very interesting place. Can you see it? Look as far out as your eyes allow you to see. Slightly to the right. The coastline. Got blue water right here. Barely see it, right? You can't see it? No. But there's a few attractions I want to point out to you while we're up here. This is a water tower. It's 96 years old. It's the only water supply for the city. Behind you, there's a white structure. That's an embassy. It's a U.S. embassy. It's already completed, but my guess is maybe in another 2 months, it's going to be fully functional. Beyond that is our cruise port. And by the way, let me see the hands of those who've been here before. You know what the cruise port looks like on average, right? 6 boats, maybe 5 every day. This is what it's. In fact, I'll tell you what's common about the ships. Register. You look behind every one of those boats, doesn't matter which one it is. There's Nassau written at the back of it. And the reason for that is, tell them. What's the reason for it?
Accident.
Come on, man. That's the reason for everything, right?
That's right.
Money. Speaking about that, let's talk about economics. This is the Bahamas' second largest employer. This is Atlantis. 10,000 employees work over there. Not me though, right? Huge, huge franchise. Dubai has one in Abu Dhabi. All of the spots that I would normally recommend. Arawaki, maybe Fort Charlotte, maybe Junkanoo Beach, you're going to pass all of those areas, all right? So before we go to the Queen Staircase, does anyone have any questions maybe about this fort in particular? Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head down to the Queen Staircase. Watch the steps going down for me.
When I tell you that I was not prepared for how steep this staircase was, we walked around, we got to the top of the staircase, I thought everything was good. The folks in front of me started to go down, and then I actually turned the camera down where I could see where I was going, and oh my, it was very steep. 66 stairs in total, I believe. Carved these steps out of the limestone as an escape route. There's a sign coming up here that you'll actually see. I'll show it in a minute. That details a little bit more about the Queen's Staircase. And then I also pan the camera around and you'll get a different perspective of how steep it actually is.
So there's one just like this.
Go ahead, I'll follow on you.
EJ! Okay, this is a photo op right here, guys. If anyone wants to take maybe a few photos, one right here. Okay. First they started the staircase of the water, and once they figured out, second was the now. This is placed here by Atlantis maybe 2 months ago. So let's see.
Oh, he's cute.
Okay, so we came down the Queen staircase. Now, none of this is an act of nature. All of this, just like that fort, was hand carved out by, the difference is, not slaves, but freedmen. So the former slaves came back here, voluntarily, willfully carved out each one of these steps in honor of the years Queen Victoria would agree, which was 64, just to say thank you for abolishing slavery. Originally, all the staircase was is a route and it's a contingency plan for the governor to get from the top of that hill back to the bottom. If there was a attack, if there was any type of besiege, he would use that to escape to get back to the harbor. That's all this is. The huge rocks that you're still looking at in this canyon, these were the ones that were unable to be removed because, as you guys might know, there are no heavy equipment, no backhoes, no none of that to remove these. The remainder of these rocks that you don't see, we have a lot of colonial style buildings, huge thick walls. So that's where the others went. All right. There is some rectangular slots in the wall, and we're going to walk as we talk. And if you are curious about what these are, there's some over here, right? There's two, maybe there started or another one, but these would be where those former slaves would have died carving this in. So their descendants would come up, they would place stuff of remembrance, maybe flowers, maybe their names, in each one of these slots. And as we make our way down there, you're going to see the majority of them. Right here. And by the way, this is what the Bahamas is made of. This same rock here, it's coral and limestone. It's 80% of the Bahama land mass. And this is what makes everything in the Bahamas so expensive, because you cannot grow a lot of stuff here. In fact, we say we import 80% of everything, and that's the what, importation.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end of the Charm of Nassau tour, part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I know as a history buff, I really enjoyed this tour, learning about Nassau, learning about Fort Fincastle, learning about the Queen's Staircase. We had an excellent tour guide. As you saw, he took his time. He didn't rush us through. He allowed time for questions, explained everything very well. And again, this tour was not that expensive, as I explained in the first video. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it out. I think it's well worth it, and cannot recommend this tour enough if you are in Nassau. Next time, we will be exploring a sea turtle conservatory and swimming with stingrays. Ciao for now. See ya.